Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Well, guys, this is the week, apparently, that whatever you've been bragging on yourself about, anything you've said, well, I'm really good at blah, 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 well, that blah, blah, blah thing is just going to knock you off your ego pedestal. The only thing I could think of that I was saying anything about was a few days ago. I did say, well, I'm on the mend. I feel good. I feel healthy. Maybe that was the last time I'll ever get sick. Here's hoping. Well, guess what, guys? I got my son's cold. Just love being knocked down a peg or three again. Oh, my God. So anything that you have ego issues with this week, it's going to be just, well, gone. By the end of the week, I mean, if you're bragging about making money, you might lose money. So don't brag on anything. Just stay humble, stay in the light, be grateful. Oh, God. So as far as the symptoms of ascension go, on the ascension symptoms scale, today we're at 97. So out of a possible 199 being the most amount of ascension symptoms you could possibly feel or suffer from. Ascension flu. Well, we've gone down about 2%, so that's good. That's good. I mean, at least we could get a little bit of a break. And so, as far as news is concerned, this is a really interesting one. Last night, a massive fireball was seen hurtling over the White House. Oh, God, it was just so close. I mean, missed it by that much. Anyway, so the fireball was hurtling over the White House in Washington, D.C., and people filmed it. You could go on YouTube and see it. It's pretty incredible. As you recall, there was a massive fireball exploding over the Bering Sea a few months ago. Several have exploded over Siberia. One exploded over London recently, and now over Washington, D.C. We are fully in the Lyrids meteor showers, and last night I reported we would be until the 25th of April in the meteor shower period of time, but apparently it will be 3 days more than what I thought. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you got 9 whole days to hope for clear weather to go out and count the meteors. And who knows, maybe you'll be filming the next meteor fireball. Green, turquoise, blue fireballs have been, pummeling the planet. This one was seen in 8 states on the eastern seaboard and landed finally off the shores of Delaware and landed in the Atlantic Ocean. So another really weird thing happened. I think it was like 2 days ago, possibly, maybe yesterday. No, it's 2 days. It's Monday. So a massive lightning strike struck the Parthenon in the Acropolis in Greece. And it was during the day, and people were there, tourists, and it injured 4 people that had to go to the hospital. I don't know, maybe Zeus is finally fed up with people being tourists at the Parthenon. Oh, God. So crazy, right? I mean, when you think about all the movies and TV shows, it's always like Zeus gets angry and, sends out lightning bolt shooting down. It was just kind of weird and ironic that it happened in Greece at the Parthenon in the Acropolis. So, pretty interesting, yeah? Anyway, so that was weird news. Let me see here. Oh, yes. The most important news of all, by the way. The Schumann resonance. Well, as you recall, in January on the 17th and February 17th and March 17th, we had a solid wall of 24 hours of Schumann resonance being well into the fifth dimension. So check this out, guys. As of 1700 UTC time, so pretty much like 5 o'clock UTC time, all day long, this is what happened. We haven't for now had the powerful usual activity of the 17, but in any case, it has not been a calm day. The peaks have followed one another, starting from 1 UTC, with amplitudes between 20 and 25 hertz. The most significant peak at 30 and 65 occurred at 1 UTC, 13 UTC time, and just before 1700 UTC. And then they write, "Is this the start?" I'm so glad they continue to look at this. All right. 2 hours later, this is the updated report. A quick update to report on the 17th of April at 17 UTC. The spike reached 78 hertz. Would have been nicer 71 hertz. More precision needed. Laughing emoji. The scientists are getting really freaking excited. They're using emojis, guys. This is huge. I mean, like, literally, there's not any emojis in any of these notes I've ever said to you, because I would have mentioned it. The scientists are using emojis. This is huge. Okay. At 2200 UTC time, it says, a second powerful spike happened at about 22 UTC at an amplitude just a little lower than the previous, probably 76 hertz. We wait now for the spike at 71 hertz. And then they put another emoji, which is a slight smile. Two emojis in one day. Either they've changed scientists or they're getting giddy because they were able to scientifically predict the next massive set of spikes, which would be on the 17th. So I don't know. Now, 30 minutes later, they updated yet one more time. Hit 22:30 UTC time, they said, it starts looking as another day in the 17 pattern. After the previous spike at 76, now an even more stronger peak reached 84 hertz. We are probably going to see again some major activity as predicted. Will it be again a full 24 hours? Question mark. Scientists are getting excited about this. I know I am. This is pretty cool. I mean, wow, right? This is pretty cool. Well, all right, we're going to come back in a few. And when we come back, I'm going to give you guys some recipes to create your own natural hygiene products at home, because chemical-free alternatives probably would have prevented all the illnesses I had in the past couple weeks. Actually, I think it might weaken our immune system to use store-bought shampoo. I thought that they weren't using parabens or methylparabens, which cause cancer. I didn't think they were using that in products anymore. And a few months ago, I had bought this delicious smelling chocolate scented hair conditioner that holds hair dye color in. And I thought, oh my God, I'm in heaven. It's an Ecuadorian product made with Ecuadorian chocolate. This is excellent. I get it home. parabens and methylparabens. So I used it and finished with the bottle. But boy, I've been praying, that I'm safe. It's scary, right? When you have so many chemicals all around you, and it's just like it really starts to mess with your hormone levels. It changes your hormones, which changes your emotions and your mood. It changes your psychological makeup. It changes your physical body. If it disrupts your hormones, you could gain a lot of weight. All kinds of things. So tonight's show is going to be actual real ways that you could create toothpaste, deodorant, mouthwash, shampoo, hair conditioner. And you could probably get it all done for under $20, everything I just mentioned. I'm also going to mention lip balm and wrinkle-free cream you can make for pennies on the dollar. And moisturizer, what to use for moisturizer. I just feel that we need to do this. We need to know this information. It's time. It's time to go back to nature in a big way. And while you're working with natural products like this to create what you need, I'm thinking that possibly you can add magic to it as well. Can you imagine the magic shampoo that casts a glamour so you always look your best, even when you feel your worst? Or toothpaste that will only allow sweet things to come out of your mouth? That you won't be able to open your mouth if you're about to say something mean? Don't make this toothpaste and give it to somebody, because that's just not, that's wrong. But there's a lot of things you could do. Lip balm, you can use beeswax in it and ask goddess Diana, whose spirit animal is bees, to be with you and keep you safe and protected, and also very self-empowered. Even if you're a man, goddess Diana loves men as well. It's not just a goddess for women. But when I come back, I'm gonna give you guys some recipes and really darn good ideas on what you can do to smell and feel your best without using any chemicals whatsoever, and stop wasting money. I know I'm paying $20 to $50 a month on everything you can imagine, hair products, everything. So I'm going to try to stop it in my life, and I'm going to encourage you guys to do the same. Maybe start with one of my recipes and come back and listen later when you want to do another recipe. Maybe start with one thing simple like toothpaste or deodorant, and then you can come back and figure out the rest, one thing at a time. Maybe, if you did one of these per month and implemented that in your life and incorporated that in your life, by Christmas time, you're going to be looking and feeling your best all naturally. So, all right, when I come back after this message, after I go to blow my nose, hey, at least I'm not saying I have to blow my doze. That could be worse, right? So, all right. After this message, I'll be right back with recipes to help your life improve. All I want to do is appreciate you, baby. And this is how. Be right back. Hey, you. Have you ever thought about having your own podcast like me? Was it even a New Year's resolution? For me, it sure was. But as I've been looking into this for months, I was daunted. There's so many questions I had. When I was trying to get this off the ground, I was wondering, How do I record the episode? How do I get it across all the platforms? How do I get my podcast on Apple Podcasts when I don't even have an iPhone? How do I get it onto Spotify and all the other places? How do I get people to listen? And how do I make money from my podcast? How do I edit it? Oh my God, I had all these questions and I was so confused until I discovered the simple answer is Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and it is ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you could get paid to podcast. All you need to do is record it. You don't have to go out and look for people to advertise on your show. They help you. So basically what I like about podcasting is I don't have to have a video of myself. You don't know if my hair is dirty or if I'm still in my pajamas or even if I'm wearing makeup. Haha. And it's so easy. I could do this from the comfort of my own home in my living room using this amazing app right from my cell phone. So easy, right? So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money, by the way, doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start. That is anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters that are already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast, and I can't wait to favorite you. Woohoo! Let's be broadcast podcast buddies. I'll see you there. Okay, guys, the purpose of having chemical-free, all-natural alternatives to personal hygiene products is that things that you put on your skin is your largest organ, and the things that you put on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream and can affect your hormones, your full endocrine system, your organs, your blood, your brain, the way that you think and function and show up in the world every day. And we're constantly bombarded with a barrage of chemicals when we leave our house. Even though your lawn might be organic, the neighbor's lawn might have chemicals on it. Even though you don't use pesticides and bug sprays, or maybe the natural ones, maybe your neighbors don't. And, you get out on the road, you're breathing in all the exhaust from the cars, and not to mention the frickin' chemtrails from the airplanes that are poisoning us not only with fuel from the airlines, but God knows what else. And back when I lived in Paradise Pines, there was a regular round every year of anti-bug spray that they sprayed and fogged the entire city. I mean, it killed off not just the mosquitoes, but all the insects. No more butterflies, and all of our songbirds left. And the forest started to die. I mean, these guys are such morons. They don't understand that what you do to one part of the web will destroy the whole web of life. They just weren't getting it. I would call them and try to talk sense into them. They're like, yeah, but there's this virus or that virus, the bird flu one year, and then Zika virus another. It was like, whatever. How many cases have there been in Butte County? Already, too. Really? And in what city? Oh, 100 miles from here? Why are we spraying up here? Made no sense. Made no sense to me. But You're being bombarded by stuff like this constantly. Now that area is being bombarded by fire-related damage to the air quality. You know, we have smog, we have runoff from factories. There's all kinds of stuff in the air, you know. Some of it gets into our food supply. If you're not eating organic, you're already eating pesticides, you know. So we have to do our best to fight that battle at home. Change begins at home. In order for us to be healthy, we need to have healthy products in our lives. And I mean, I'm guilty of it just as much as you are or the next guy, because even just like yesterday, I used Head and Shoulders, you know, to wash my hair. Yeah, they do have Head and Shoulders in Ecuador. Pretty cool, right? In fact, that's the one shampoo you'll find throughout like Peru, Guatemala, Mexico. It's everywhere. It's great marketing for them, you know, Johnson & Johnson. And they're kind of an evil corporation, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of fun to see something from home here, even though it says Head and Shoulders and then everything else is in Spanish. But even with that, I'm like, you know, maybe, you know, I've got to start taking alternative routes. I had already been brushing my teeth with alternative means. And then I realized that the one that I was making, I couldn't find essential oils, so it's not going to work without essential oils too well. It does work, but if you have a hot date, just use normal toothpaste. I mean, do your honey a favor. If you plan on doing any kissing, you know, it's just, you know, there's some things that we need to still sacrifice, right? But anyway, the very first thing I'm going to give you, as far as natural hygiene products is concerned, and this is going to work for you if you're a man or a woman. It does not matter gender, okay? If you have started to feel that your skin has impurities in it, and maybe you have a moisture problem, and maybe you have problems with wrinkles are starting to form. Maybe you already have wrinkles. Maybe you have some sun damage. The best, easiest thing I can tell you is for your wrinkle-free cream is just go get some castor oil. If you speak Spanish mostly, that might not make sense to you. So, aceite de ricina. I'll say that again. Aceite de ricina, R-I-C-I-N-A. Yeah, in English that does spell ricin with an A at the end. Ricin is an extremely poisonous substance that kills you practically right away. There's been cases in the 70s in which Russian, I don't know, I guess gangsters came into the U.S. and they shot a little tiny pellet the size of a piece of rice into the back of one guy's calf. Within 24 hours, the guy was dead. And they couldn't do anything to stop it. Ricin is extremely poisonous because it comes from the castor bean. And it's like, that was like a big issue in Breaking Bad, if you guys were a fan of that show. So it's like this extreme poisonous substance. But just the normal castor oil is not poisonous. If you take it internally, you will be seen on the toilet for a good 8 to 10 hours. So, I mean, that's something to consider if you really need a good clean out, but be very careful with taking it internally. Plus it stinks. It does not smell good. So what you do is, if you can handle it, just put it straight from the bottle onto your face. Cover your entire face, your décolletage area, which is basically between your nipples and your neck. And also cover your neck with this. Anywhere, in fact, you have wrinkles in your body, on the back of your hands, that's a good place, right? So at night, before you go to sleep, put a big towel on your pillow. Trust me on this. And then you put a headband or a bandana to protect your hair. Hold your hair back, and you coat your whole face, anywhere and everywhere you have wrinkles. You just coat it all with castor oil. Now, if you can't stand the smell, go ahead and add something else to it. Lavender, if you're not getting a good night's sleep. If you're having a hard time waking up in the morning, you could try peppermint oil, but that might tingle. You could use grapefruit oil, or tangerine would be very pleasant. Nothing that's going to be harsh, though. Peppermint might be a little harsh for your skin, but lavender essential oil would be okay. It would mask the smell very easily. If you feel like you have been having a hard time breathing and you like the smell of black licorice, you could put a couple drops of anise, only 2 drops of anise. And in your palm, put the size of maybe 25 cents, like a quarter, between that size and a 50-cent piece. You start with the quarter size and just add 1 drop of essential oil, and that should mask the smell. When you coat your face with it, it's very, very thick. When you apply it, it's very thick and it's very sticky and therefore very icky. That's why I said go lay down, go to sleep right away. Try to keep from leaning on your pillow so it doesn't soak up into the towel, because it might ruin the fabric. So don't use your best linens with this, for sure. But by morning, you should have minimal 5 to 10 years taken off your face. And a $12 bottle will last you like 6 years. So, I mean, don't spend $400 on a bottle of substance that has gold in it or pearls or something that might also cause you cancer, right? Pearl cream is really good. You could go to Chinatown and get crushed pearl powder and make your own. But, you could also add pearl cream to this. You could add pearl cream to, or crushed pearls. You can add to coconut oil and add your favorite essential oil to that. And that's also a nice moisturizer for the next night after. Also, cocoa butter smells just like chocolate, and that's a lovely thing to put on your face. Mix it with coconut oil. That also is a good moisturizer. You could also mix that with shea butter in equal amounts, and that would be excellent, even for the backs of your hands. Coconut oil will also take out wrinkles over time, and it also protects you from the sun. I mean, not for like 8 hours, but if you're out there for 30, 40 minutes, you're probably going to be okay if you put coconut oil on your skin. If you burn very easily, wear a hat, obviously. So now the next thing that's very exciting, now we've talked about wrinkle-free cream and moisturizer. The next thing is going to maybe blow your mind. It's something that my girlfriend, Jaco, mentioned to me when I met her in Peru a couple years ago. I asked her if she had any shampoo I could borrow, because I was out of shampoo. I said, if not, I'll just go to the store. But I thought maybe she had a bottle or something. And she said, oh gosh, I haven't used shampoo in years. And I'm like, but your hair is perfect and really clean and shiny and soft. Like, I was so jealous of her beautiful hair. And she says, oh, well, I'll give you the recipe. And she never did, but she told me the secret. She said, oh, I wash my hair with flour. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You wash your hair with flour? You can't wash your hair with flour. That's insane. Well, apparently I was completely ignorant, because you can. You can wash your hair with flour. I'm going to give you an exact recipe. Now, you can use rice flour and chickpea flour. In fact, chickpeas, those are interesting. You boil You can make vegan with chickpeas. You could boil them and boil them and boil them, and then you use the water left behind, and you put in a blender and add a little bit of vanilla, and it's like whipped cream. It's so insane. I don't know how it tastes, but I saw a recipe for it like a month ago. I'm like, what? What? Are you kidding me? So vegan people can now have their own whipped cream, but made from chickpeas. So pretty cool. I did not know you could do that. I prefer the old-fashioned. I don't mind eating dairy, but I may try it someday just out of curiosity. You know me, curiosity killed the cat, so it's probably how I'm going to die, is being curious about something. Hopefully not. Okay. The best flour that I've found in my research, according to everybody who's used this, I still have not done it. I had to look it up. The name of this flour is Harina de Centena, Centena, if you are Spanish speaking, in Spanish is your first language. So, because I do have people in Ecuador now and Colombia listening, and Peru, actually. So, yeah, Harina de Centena is what you want to use to clean your hair. It's also known in English as rye flour. By the way, rye flour, well, first of all, I mentioned this last night during the ergot scare in Paris, because ergot grows on rye, and it's like a natural form of LSD. Don't try this at home, kids, because it also can kill you. I mean, you go out with like massive hallucinations, but also you might think that there's witches everywhere out to get you. So, yeah, that's what happened that time. Well, I don't know if that's what happened there, but I know it's happened throughout Europe. Ergot scares really messed people up there for a minute. So, this is the exact recipe for shampoo. 3 tablespoons of rye flour, 6 tablespoons of water. Mix it up really, really, really well. Make a paste. Put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours, and it will become like shampoo quality-ish. And go in the shower, and when you wash your hair, you just wash it as if it's normal shampoo. It's not going to lather, but it is going to clean your hair. Cleaning is the key to this. Now, if you want to get a little fancy with it, go ahead and add your favorite essential oil. Essential oil of lavender would be to relax you or energize you, depending. Also, essential oil of peppermint would be fun and lovely, but doesn't always mix with everyone's natural body scent, so it can like end up smelling like fish on some people. So, I mean, I know for me, rose is horrible. It smells like pee, so on my skin, so I can never use rose. I love roses and I like having them around my house, but I can't use rose perfume or something. But if you're someone who can, that's another idea. Essential oil of grapefruit or tangerine, anything citrusy. If you want to use bergamot, again, bergamot, I mentioned this in other shows, is known for its magical qualities of bringing abundance to you. So you can make a money-attracting shampoo, which should be super fun, right? Every time you wash your hair, you're like, I'm going to wash all my problems out of my hair. And in my hair, I'm going to put in the magical energy of my beautiful money attraction or love attraction. You can use Lang Lang. That's an aphrodisiac. Lang Lang mixes really well with orange, by the way. And if you're a man and you want to try this, the manliest scents I can imagine together are essential oil of black pepper mixed with essential oil of bergamot. And if you could find bay rum, a little splash of that. You don't want to smell like a rummy, but ooh, it's such a pretty smell. Yeah, I'm like trying to think what else for man. You can use cinnamon. That's neutral for both genders. That's you can mix cinnamon essential oil with orange. That can also be a very nice, almost like a Christmassy scent. You can even use essential oil of pine, although you might smell a little bit like turpentine, which is a lovely smell sometimes. But if it's a Siberian white fir essential oil, like white pine, is excellent. It's like that Christmas tree pine smell. But it might be a little too chemically smelling for a lot of people. It has a terpenes in it and smells like turpentine, so it's kind of, but that really would get out dandruff. So that is something to consider if you have dandruff. Clary sage is also a very manly smell, and it can be easily mixed with ling ling or orange. If you're a woman, it'd be pretty nice, actually. So, okay, to make a hair conditioner or a hair rinse, there are a couple ways you could go about it. One of them is if you put 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Make sure everything, by the way, is organic, okay? Keep yourself extremely healthy. So apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons to 1 cup of water. And mix that thoroughly. Just takes like 2 seconds. Swirl it around. And if you want to add a little bit extra water, you can. Keep your eyes shut when you do this, but rinse your hair with that. When the vinegar dissipates, you will not smell like vinegar, so don't panic. If you want to add essential oils to that again to keep a scent in, that is an excellent idea. So that is one form of shampoo and conditioner. Now, another form of shampoo. This is really interesting. There is a soap plant. It's called Reetha, Reetha, and it is soap. Oh gosh. Hold on a minute. I gotta look this up. Okay, soap nuts. And I think you could order these on eBay, or possibly you might be able to find them in a specialty shop or health food store, hopefully. I have no idea in Ecuador what they're called in Spanish, but I have to look that one up later and figure it all out, because I want to try to use this stuff. This stuff looks amazing. Reetha, or soap nuts. You can use this to make dish soap, body soap, hand wash, face wash, and also a floor wash to clean your countertops and floors. And it has a naturally positive energy to it. It dispels negativity, so it has magical qualities as well. And it also repels insects. So, my God, get your hands on your soap nuts. Oh, yeah, that was a fun one. Phew, even I didn't see that one coming. Reetha. Not your Reetha. Yeah, get your Reetha now. Oh, God, that was a twofer, wasn't it? Whew, that was fun. All right, so to make the Reetha shampoo, you have to boil like 20 Reethas in a pan, or soap nuts in a pan of water. And as you're boiling them, you wait till they're kind of softened up, and you scoop them out. And you might want to wait a few minutes to let them cool down. And you peel them open, and you get there's like a black seed inside. You want to take all the black seeds out, and then put them back in and let them boil until now it's foamy and starts to look like soap. And then you cool it, and you squeeze out your nuts and your soap nuts. Oh my God, this is just so many jokes. It's so hard to keep steady on this one. Okay, so anyway, you squeeze out your nuts, and then you strain it, and you wait till it cools down a little bit, and you put a little bit of coconut oil, melted coconut oil, mixed in if your hair tends to be a little dry. And you put in essential oils of your choice, and you only use a little bit at a time. You just put maybe a quarter of a cup to half a cup in a bowl. Take that bowl into your bathroom with you. I recommend not using a glass bowl just because, you're in the shower and accidents and all that. Unless it's a tempered glass, it's definitely not going to break. I don't want you to get hurt in the shower, so I don't want to be responsible for that. But just go get a bowl, maybe put like a cup of it after you've mixed it, and then put it in the shower with the shower water, mix it all the way up, and just put your hair, if you have long hair especially, soak it for a few minutes, and then pour it over and just let it sit there for a few minutes and massage your scalp with your fingertips, and it will clean your hair. It will shampoo your hair. There's also an herb called soapwort root. I think that would be the same kind of process, but I haven't been able right now to find anything on that. That is a Northern American plant that the Native Americans used to use to wash their hair. So the next thing I want to talk about, which I found to be extremely exciting, I don't know, is just very Mother Nature earthy, and I loved it. So if you could get several sprigs of rosemary or sage, horsetail herb or lavender, even calendula or parsley, you could mix one or all together, up to you. I would mix only one or two. Pour boiling hot water on top of that. Make a super, super concentrated tea, and that is your hair conditioner, hair rinse. Now, everything has a different purpose. Horsetail will make your hair very, very shiny and strong. If you want to do, sage, that would be to take care of anything like dandruff, itchiness, dry scalp, any scalp issues. Rosemary is also extremely good for scalp issues, and it smells heavenly. It's just one of those herbs I've always had a great fondness for. Now, lavender would be good to use if you want to go to sleep and sleep quickly and easily. You do that at night. For me, in the mornings, I have the opposite sleep pattern as like the rest of humanity, because I'm a Heyoka, do everything backwards. But lavender will help you sleep better at night. If you want to use calendula, that will also help your hair. It'll be beautiful, and it will be very, your scalp will be very good. It'll like kind of moisturize your scalp, and it moisturizes your hair as well. I don't know why I wrote the words paisley slime. I'm sure that's not what I actually wrote. I have no idea what that means. Why did I write that? That is insane. Parsley and thyme. Like paisley slime? No, wait, don't do that. Okay. Yeah, thyme oil, THYME oil, is also very good to take care of dandruff and any scalp issues. If you have psoriasis, that might help you as well. In fact, by the way, all of these products that you use on your body, if you can replace the stuff you normally use with these products that will cost you pennies on the dollar, probably will clear up things like psoriasis and eczema and any skin condition, acne especially. Rosemary is good for acne, so is thyme. So you could probably put those in with your castor oil mask if that seems a little harsh, and you don't want to do that but once every couple weeks, and that can be a little harsh. So you can also do it with essential oil mixed with coconut, or the plant water mixed with a little bit coconut. Just rinse your face as a toner and then put the coconut over. So, okay. If you want to increase blood flow to your scalp, by the way, and grow your hair faster, rosemary essential oil would be working there, but also just the natural plant rosemary, 5 or 6 sprigs in a boiling vat of hot water. That will also help you. Now, there is another cool way to do this if you want to use apple cider vinegar, organic. Get a jar, a beautiful jar, make sure it's clean. Put in the sprigs of rosemary or sage or any of the herbs I mentioned. Fill the herbs almost to the top and then pour vinegar over it. Shut the lid tight. Shake it up every day for 2 to 3 weeks. And then when you want to take it out, you only use like 4 to 5 tablespoons. Mix that up, so you pour in your herbal vinegar and 4 to 5 tablespoons with a big vat, a big bowl of shower water. Mix that up, and that becomes your hair conditioner, your hair rinse. And when the vinegar scent dissipates, you're going to have really beautiful smelling hair and very, very healthy, thick, strong, luxurious hair. The other thing is you can take these herbal vinegars and mix them with a little bit of oil and make a nice salad dressing. So that's also a fun extra bonus there for you. Now, the next thing I want to discuss is making deodorant, because a lot of people use the deodorant, and especially women, you put the deodorant on your armpit, obviously, and it's right next to your breasts. And I know a lot of women with large breasts will put deodorant between their breasts and underneath to prevent sweating. I don't know what to do to prevent sweating as of yet. I'm still looking into that. So as far as antiperspirant, I don't know how to make that yet. As far as, I think alum might be the way to do it, but I don't know if that's good or not. I got to look it up. I do know that deodorant, though, just to stop any sense of scent or smell, body odor, I'm going to give you a recipe that will definitely work. I have a friend who makes this in the States, and she said that she works in a barn on a farm, and she's like baling hay all day long and mucking out the stables and riding the horses and training horses. And she'll put this deodorant on in the morning, and in the afternoon she still smells really fresh. So this is an amazing recipe I'm about to give you guys. So for the deodorant, you can use shea butter if you are sensitive skin and you want your armpits to be soft and moisturized, which I know it sounds weird. We don't want moisture there, but if it's moisturized and doesn't smell bad, then what's the problem, right? So anyway, you could do 2 tablespoons of shea butter. If you don't want to do shea butter, you can ignore that and do 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. Otherwise, it's 2 of each, 2 tablespoons. Those are the big spoons, so you can make them heaping. It's okay. 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, or 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix that up, and you could put in that any essential oil that you like. I prefer the citrus scents, again, bergamot. You could, you want to smell good and attract money. You could always use your magical purposes for all of these things. Cinnamon would be nice for a deodorant. Also, you can mix cinnamon and orange. Tea tree, if you have a serious odor issue or you really want to prevent germs, antimicrobial action, antiseptic action is found in tea tree. And plus it has kind of a clean, fresh green scent. It's a nice scent for men. Cinnamon is good for both men and women. And again, actually, none of these really have gender, so you could do whatever you want, but just I'm going with traditional scents for men and women. If you want to make yourself that could go in a jar and you just scoop it out with clean hands every day and just rub it on. After a few minutes, the coconut oil will absorb into the skin, will not leave you feeling oily, because that would be just disgusting, right? So, okay, if you want to put in also 3 tablespoons of bentonite clay or arrowroot powder, you can make this a little bit harder. And while it's still liquid, you've got to melt the coconut oil and add all the ingredients take it off the heat, and then when it was halfway all the way cooled but still liquidy, that's when you add your essential oil. You don't want the essential oils to fly out and dissipate right away. So, because they're very volatile, they will just fly away, and then you just won't have any scent. And you want to hold the scent inside, obviously, so you smell good. You could do this without any scent at all, by the way, and it'll just be baking soda will be what's preventing it. But I prefer the essential oils just because it will give you extra protection from smelling bad, because there won't be any problems with bacteria or, any ickies gathering. So if you have an old deodorant stick thing that just ran out, and keep your empties, If you want to wait a month or two to get a new empty, you can do that. When the concoction is halfway hardened again, because coconut oil has a melting point at 76 degrees Fahrenheit. So anything above that, it will harden like a normal deodorant. So while it's still a little bit liquidish, but not really liquid, kind of in the middle, pour it in your deodorant thing, and then you could just have a roll on that, you just kind of mush up. So it'll look like real deodorant, and it'll smell wonderful and be really healthy for your body. If you don't have that, if you have an old glue stick, you could do the same thing with an old glue stick. I mean, you do the same thing with an old chapstick thing, but that'd be awfully small. And that'd be awfully insane. Although if you want an insanely small travel pack, that would be kind of cool for like a weekend thing. It might take you 10 minutes to put on your deodorant, but hey, might be a kind of a crazy idea. Or you just put it in a jar and call it a day. Spoon it out with a clean spoon every time. So as far as soap is concerned, just like actual hard body soap, I think you can, for like liquid or shower gel, you could actually do, I'm going to give you a recipe for hair gel in a minute, and you could maybe mix a little bit of that in with, possibly in with soapwort root or the soap nuts recipe. And that might be, and then along with your essential oils that you enjoy and a little bit of baking soda, that might help. But as far as actual soap, for me, the best idea is just to go get clearly natural, scent-free glycerin soap, and then you could add your own scents to it. Or just the glycerin soap of any scent. Usually clearly natural is good, but if you don't want any perfume at all, that's an excellent, just plain pure glycerin soap. And you can order this. You can look on the internet and you can find it. I used to buy it like by 50 pounds at a time. And I used to make soaps. Like I had a business making soaps I used to sell. And I'm not doing it now, but in the future, I might figure it out. If I could find that in Ecuador, I might do it, because it would be nice to make soaps that won't cause cancer for people, right? Jasmine is a lovely scent for soap, by the way. So if you could find jasmine, even jasmine flowers. And if you want to put flowers in your soap, chop the petals up fine and soak them in liquid glycerin for a couple weeks. And they'll make like a scented, you could do this with lavender flowers or rose petals. And this makes a really lovely scent. It's almost like an extract. And then you just put a little bit in your soap, and you'll have little floaty rose petals, and it's really lovely to look at. So if you're a man and you want to make your own soap, you could get glycerin soap and add a couple tablespoons of coconut oil and cinnamon essential oil. And if you want to make it brown, actually add real cinnamon. And what this will do for you is it will soften your beard and make it easier for shaving, and the coconut oil will make really tiny, lathery, bubbly, kind of like lather. So it'll lather up in a way that you're more accustomed to. But it makes an excellent shaving, especially if you're prone to acne. Now, if you are pregnant, stay away from cinnamon essential oil until you're no longer pregnant. It will make you abort your baby. So do not use cinnamon. That is my biggest warning. If you're listening to this and pregnant, don't use cinnamon essential oil or pennyroyal, by the way. All right. And don't use anise for stuff that you're going to use every day, because after 2 to 3 weeks, anise essential oil builds up in your system and it will suppress your central nervous system. Eventually, if you use it every day for like a month, you might end up, or for a couple months, you might end up in a coma or something. So don't use anise for all this stuff, I'm telling you, unless you're going to rotate it out. Like maybe use it for a week and then don't use it for a week or two, and then it'll dissipate in your body and then it's okay again. So you can have like 4 or 5 flavors of all of these things if you want to get really crazy with it. So maybe today you want to have, armpits that smell like lavender, and maybe tomorrow you want peppermint. The next day, maybe you want orange. Why not? You could mix it up and get really fun with it, get creative. You could have really tiny jars and just make little tiny jars every time. Anyway, moving right along. The next thing I want to tell you about is toothpaste. And I used to make my own toothpaste, and I brushed my teeth with it for like 6 to 8 months. You could remineralize your teeth, supposedly, with coconut oil. I had a spot on one of my teeth, and it lessened, but it didn't fully come back, like grow back. I know that I can, but I think my tooth might be dead because I had one filling in my whole mouth, like all my whole life. And I think I didn't even have a cavity, but anyway, I have a metal filling I still haven't removed, and I've been scared to remove it, and part of that tooth started to chip off. And so I started using coconut oil, and the spot is still on my tooth, but it's like half the size that it used to be. So I may get back to this and try to figure it out. But anyway, my toothpaste recipe, and this is super fun. And again, you're going to need a glass jar because it is coconut oil, and that hardens. It'll look like toothpaste. It'll be white like toothpaste. But my toothpaste recipe, my secret recipe, I loved it, but it was brown. So it seems counterintuitive to brush your teeth with something that's brown, but bear with me for a minute. It's like so good you could eat it though, and it's like super healthy for you. So if you accidentally swallow some of it, like, you swallow toothpaste, it's got fluoride in it. You have to call a poison control center immediately. It says it on the package. Call a poison control center, but you're putting this in your mouth. Like, how is that good? And plus, fluoride is bad for your pineal gland. It'll dry it up. When your pineal gland is fully dried and it's not pliable anymore, you die. So, this is good advice what I'm giving you. So, toothpaste, you make it with a couple tablespoons of coconut oil and 5 drops of essential oil. You could do maybe 10, but if you're doing 4 or 6, you could do 6 tablespoons of coconut oil. To basically, for every tablespoon of coconut oil, add 1 drop of essential oil. Don't go overboard. Essential oils are very dangerous in large amounts. That's why we use them in teeny, tiny amounts. So peppermint is always very popular for flavored toothpaste, but you could go nuts and do cinnamon essential oil. I like cinnamon. It's kind of fiery and hot. I love it. Also, you could do anise for this as long as you rotate it out. Anise will be smoothing and soothing to your gums, though, and it will numb them. And that will help if you are having some issues with your teeth at the moment. So basically, in mine, I used actual cinnamon, like just straight from the jar cinnamon. And I mixed it with, sometimes I mixed it with cocoa powder. Yeah, chocolate toothpaste. That would get you out of bed in 2 seconds, right? If you could brush your teeth with chocolate every day, oh my God. So, but the key ingredient though is if you did 6 tablespoons of baking soda, I would say half a teaspoon of baking soda to 6 tablespoons of coconut oil. And then you add the flavoring of your choice. So if you're going to do chocolate, you could do that with peppermint or spearmint. So mint chocolate would be an excellent flavor. But I mean, again, this is my brown toothpaste, and you got to make sure you rinse your mouth very well after, so that you don't have a bunch of brown spots on your teeth, because that would look weird on a date or at work or at church, wherever you go. I don't know where you go, but but I did, because cinnamon, because I couldn't find any essential oil, and that's what I did in a pinch. But cinnamon is very soothing. It's an emollient, and it will help your gums. It'll take out inflammation, and it has antiseptic properties. If you accidentally swallow it, it's actually good for diabetes. So if you have blood sugar issues, it will balance out your blood sugar. So the same thing with the cinnamon essential oil. You know, you could have white toothpaste. It looks normal. Mine looked really weird. People are like, what is that, right? It was freaking people out. I'm like, it's just my homemade toothpaste that I make, you know. But it works if you are going on a date. Just use normal toothpaste, you know, just for the night. Go back to your natural, hippy dippy, trippy alternative tomorrow. You know, unless you put enough essential oil in it, then you'll be fine. Essential oil does work. If you don't want to deal with all the toothpaste, you could just do, you know, essential oils in an oil like olive oil, or trying to think of something. Sesame has a flavor to it, so olive oil is probably your best bet. Virgin olive oil would work. If you just wanted to do an oil, essential oil to your teeth, that would help coat your gums and everything, and it's good for you. All this stuff I'm giving you, I'm like, if you ate it, it would never hurt you. It would all be healthy. So bergamot has a weird flavor to it. So as far as toothpaste, I wouldn't do bergamot, but spearmint is one of my most favorite flavors. I would love to get essential oil of spearmint. If I could find it down here, maybe I'll make it eventually. I might have to make some, I can't make essential oils because you have to have a special still for it, but I would love to make essences or extracts. I could make extracts, and maybe I'll do that. I think that you could probably make an extract of any flavor you want and turn that into your flavor of toothpaste, by the way. But essential oils do have antiseptic properties, so and baking soda will freshen your breath. So anyway, moving right along, mouthwash. This is a super fun one. If you want to put a tablespoon of vodka and put 5 drops of your favorite essential oil, whether it's cinnamon or peppermint or whatever flavor you want your mouth to smell like. Even orange would be nice. You know, grapefruit would be weird, but no, don't do grapefruit. It'd be too weird. But anything that's typical that you like. Cinnamon, I think, is always my favorite, but you could go ahead and do that. You could do tea tree oil to have an extremely clean mouth, but it also tastes weird. So do a tablespoon of vodka and 5 drops of essential oil in the vodka directly. Mix that up thoroughly and put that in your huge bottle, that holds up to 2 cups of water. Fill the rest up with spring water, just, healthy water. Not like from the actual ground, okay? Filtered water. Not tap. Don't ever use tap water for this. And that will last you a couple weeks. But if you are an alcoholic and you're afraid to use the vodka, then you could do this directly into, essential oil with the water, but you got to put a teaspoon of baking soda. Oh, either case, a teaspoon of baking soda in your mouthwash is a must. It'll keep everything fresh, including the water as well as your breath. But vodka will just be a carrier for the essential oils to blend. It's kind of a bridge to blend the essential oil with the water. But if you really are a stickler and you don't want alcohol in your life, that's fine. Just ignore it. Just do the baking soda mixed with water first and then essential oil directly into that. It will still work. You'll still have it for 2 to 3 weeks. It will still last and everything will be great. So lip balm, I think I mentioned this earlier, but if you put a 1/4 teaspoon of beeswax and a tablespoon of shea butter and a tablespoon of coconut oil, and again, mix that with your most favorite essential oil. Lavender is very healing. It will take out inflammation. Peppermint will too, and you could just squish it, kind of, melt it gently. And by the way, don't ever burn your oils because that will ruin everything. Mix it in and pour it into a little lip balm pot. The little tiny, you could get them, I think, at the health food store, just empty ones. Or you could try to pour it into like an old chapstick bottle, or, you play around with it. You'll figure it out. But just put that on your lips every day before you go to sleep and when you wake up and throughout the day to keep your lips moist and hydrated. This would be super, super healthy if you go to places like Las Vegas where it's super dry. If you're in the desert, this is going to be a lifesaver. And you could also put that on your face as well. Moisturize your whole body with it if you want. Oh, God, excuse me. I'm trying to keep it together, guys, with this cold. So, if you have your own land or house that you own, you could grow your own sponges in your backyard. Did you know that? You could go get loofah seeds. This is the time of year to go buy them right now. I think this is the time of year that you should start to germinate your seeds if you grow things. So, check your Farmer's Almanac for the day and time. Full moon tomorrow. I don't know if I think new moon's a good time to plant, but you could start to germinate the seeds and then plant them officially in 2 weeks. But you could grow loofahs in your backyard. How cool is that? You could even use those loofahs you could, maybe put a little colored ribbon, so you know which one is which, but you could keep, slice off part of it for your bathroom to clean your bathroom, and one for your face and body and one for your kitchen. And you can use this as a cleaning tool as well. Don't ever have to buy another man-made synthetic sponge again. Just use a loofah. If it starts to break down or smell bad, just throw it away, or actually mulch it. Go put it back in your garden and it'll mulch back to nothing. And it'll help your other loofahs when they're coming up. So, I don't know. I have these kind of ideas are always in my mind. Someday I hope to have my own land so I could do this stuff. All right. I hope that you guys love this next idea. I know for me, I do. By the way, I wanted to mention for the deodorant, if you want to add, or the toothpaste, 1/4 teaspoon of neem powder. Not deodorant, for the toothpaste. Neem powder is good for your gums. It'll help your gums if you have gingivitis or gum disease. It will help receding gum lines go back. The essential oils will also. I have a feeling that toothpaste that's commercially bought causes gum disease. I have a feeling, all right? So that's another thing you should know. I'm looking here. By the way, for your hair rinse, I forgot to mention, if you want to add rose water, if you want your hair to smell like roses, that could be added to any of the herbal rinses or the herbal vinegar rinses that I mentioned. All right, we have 5 minutes left, so before my phone cuts off and stops recording, so I'm going to get to this really quick. The final product I'm going to tell you how to make in your own house is going to blow your freaking mind. I could not believe it when I saw it today. I looked it up on a whim and I found it. And I told my son, I think I'm going to make this for you this week because, oh my God, this is a great idea. Hair gel. Oh, how many, dollars have you spent on hair gel in your life, especially if you're a man? I mean, when I was in the 80s, I had the Olivia Newton-John hairstyle, which required hair gel all the time. And I was always like, ooh, what is in this stuff? It's kind of creepy. What is this? But hair gel. This is how you make hair gel on your stovetop. 1/4 cup of flax seeds, which are going to cost you less than $3. And 2 cups of water. And you could use spring water, but I mean, for this, it's just hair gel. Maybe tap would be okay. So just normal water and 1/4 cup flax seeds. And that's pretty much the recipe. So you put the 1/4 cup flax seeds in your water, and you just boil it on the stove until it's thick like gel. And on the other end of it, when it's thick like gel and the flax seeds are floating around, you're going to want to strain it through something. So if you have a very, 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 very fine nylon strainer, make sure it's cooled off enough. You're not going to melt your strainer. That will work. But another fun way to do this, go buy pantyhose, old-fashioned pantyhose, the ones that go up to the knee, the ones your grandma probably asked you to buy when you were a kid. I mean, well, my grandma did. She just could not have enough pairs of these weird, like, she called them socks, but they were, anyway, nylon. If you make weed butter, you already have these in your house, but anyway, to make butter, yay. But just go get some knee highs and put the knee high around the jar and push it down and just pour the gel in. And then when you lift it up, you could squeeze it out. So you just squeeze it out with chopsticks, or if you have salad tongs to kind of, because it's kind of hot, you don't want to do it with your hands when you're pouring it into the jar. But what's left, is just amazing hair gel. And after you put this in your hair and put it on your hands, because you got to rub it into your hands to put it into your hair, it'll actually soften your hands, and it's good for your hands. So no more chemicals even in that front. It's excellent, right? And you can add your own essential oils, again, Lang Lang, or bergamot if you want to attract money. And you could do all of these, make all these at home, and then do a little ceremony in which you are consecrating this to God, or God and the goddess, and, just ask God to bless it and put your magic into it, put your magical intent and purpose into any one of these recipes, if you are so inclined. And then, you'll just feel like you're doing that much more of the law of attraction in your life. You could do a whole set of everything I mentioned with orange and rose and Lang Lang, and that is a serious aphrodisiac because you want to call love into your life. Or maybe you want to do all of these with mints, call money. Bergamot is a mint, and it's not mint, it's a citrus, and it calls money. So does lime. Oh yeah, bergamot, lime, black pepper, all mixed. It makes excellent scent for a man. Adding lime is amazing, especially with coconut and lime. Oh my God. Even putting bay leaves as a hair rinse or vinegar hair rinse is excellent for a man. I like it for me, but it is a manly scent and it's lovely. So anyway, I hope that you guys will move towards living a better life and having better health and giving yourself a healthier future by making these amazing recipes today. And I'm gonna go to sleep now, so I love you all. Thank you for being my listener. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. Write to me anytime at metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. Right now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.